Buzzcast.
All right, well, welcome. My name is Mark Dixon, and I am the Vice President of Education with NEACH, and I also serve as the project lead for the Navigating Through Digital Payments project team. Last year, our project team came together to tackle the concept of money movement occurring inside and outside of digitalized environments, especially those such as the metaverse. And during our initial conversations, our team realized that it was going to be critical to first define what digital assets are before tackling the more complex nature of digital money movement. So in response, our team launched a closer look at digital assets, which was an infographic that we debuted at the Fall 2023 Payments Alliance meeting. And our infographic is available by visiting the Payments Innovation Alliance webpage at nacha.org, and it provides a level set starting point for the work that our group has planned for 2024. So we started by providing a definition of digital assets and exploring some of the more common examples such as NFTs, cryptocurrencies, central bank digital currency, and even digital space. Each of these assets have different characteristics and reasons for existing. The implications of these differences heavily relate to how these assets are managed and their involvement in payment processing flows. So during our discovery sessions, one of the biggest surprises for me was realizing how broad the concept of digital assets really is. And with digital environments becoming more common, it makes me consider what the future will look like. Will businesses soon be bidding for virtual real estate in much the same way we traditionally have for physical space? And from what I have read, that is very much happening. Relating these topics to the future of a financial institution, imagine you're walking into a virtual branch to meet your financial advisor who happens to be located thousands of miles away. But we are sitting together looking out at Pixel City. What does that experience look like, including money movement, contract execution, and so forth? So as we integrate digital assets into the equation, compounded by digital payment flows, the answer to this becomes rather sophisticated and, dare I say, a bit controversial. So sitting with me today, I have Sharon, Director of Payments Education at EPCOR, and Kim, Director of Digital Banking and Payment Strategy at Bank of Charlestown, BCT. Both sit on the group with me. Sharon, do you have some thoughts?
Yes. Well, Mark, first I have to agree with your sentiment regarding how broad the concept of digital assets is. Digital assets are becoming increasingly important in our digital economy, and understanding them is going to be crucial not only for individuals and businesses, but the financial industry. As a person with limited knowledge about digital assets, I was really excited to join the Navigating Through Digital Payments project team and help grow my understanding of the different types of digital assets like cryptocurrency, NFTs, central bank digital currency, and even maybe the metaverse. I have to say the infographic that the team put together was a really great introduction to digital assets for me.
Yeah, I agree. The importance of digital assets is at the forefront of our minds. We see an increased interest from consumers and businesses. I work in the digital space and I'm looking for ways that digital assets can enhance our payment offerings, streamline our processes, offer greater service to our clients. The future of payments landscape will look very different and is looking very different with the application of these digital assets. This committee has really given me a greater understanding of digital assets and opened my mind to new possibilities for our FI. The infographic that has been created is a great overview of digital offerings, and it can be used to open internal dialogue to new possibilities.
Thank you both. So another area we explored in that infographic was the concept of digital asset management. And we learned how digital assets may be held in proprietary company libraries and involve a variety of use cases, such as for compliance, secure file transfer protocol, digital marketing, internal communications, and so on. This need to actively manage these digital libraries has become increasingly important as we see 4.1 billion USD worth of digital asset management today, with that expected to grow to over 9 billion by 2028. So another fascinating aspect of the digital asset topic really is all about how businesses actively manage these resources and use them in real life. And relating back to my previous comments on the metaverse, it's interesting to consider how marketing strategies, as an example, might be included in these digital environments in conjunction with digital asset management solutions. So, as we look at how we might reach a new type of marketing and business audience, how can we further integrate business strategy to ensure that there is still value behind intangible offerings and be able to promote them in a way that fosters interest and excitement, like we see with real world marketing? And is digital asset management the key?
In my opinion, absolutely. Integrating digital assets management into marketing strategies, especially in this evolving landscape of the metaverse and digital environments, is going to be really crucial for businesses to effectively manage and promote their digital assets. And by strategically utilizing digital asset management solutions, businesses can ensure the organization, accessibility, and optimization of their digital assets to really drive that value and engagement. It serves as a foundation for managing, promoting, and monetizing intangible offerings effectively while still fostering interest and excitement among those target audiences.
Yeah, I agree. Integrating digital assets management will allow us to have ownership and oversight, bringing key individuals in the organization to strategically work together for the success of our digital assets that we onboard. A focus on marketing strategies in this space will be a driving force in reaching our goals, adding value to the digital asset offerings that we onboard, and bring in additional revenue as we track the use and adoption of our digital assets.
Yeah, some really interesting insights here. So, looking at our work coming up this year, it will be interesting to explore use cases such as these as we dive into the anatomy of payment transactions and include a study of use cases. So, the last section of a closer look at digital assets dives into the digital asset life cycle. And that cycle includes the start, life, and end stages of those digital assets, with the starting phase being when the asset is created, the life stage being the management, distribution, and retrieval of that asset, and the end stage being the archival process. The digital asset lifecycle makes us consider how these assets come to be and what happens to them throughout a cycle that it may include transaction booking to blockchains, valuation, and ultimately devaluation practices resulting in archived assets. I am really excited to move forward with our 2024 work to start diving deeper into the digital asset lifecycle by further exploring the creation, valuation, transactional, and archival processes in more detail. A significant challenge we see with this new frontier of transactions and asset ownership is the valuation proposition. When we look at other examples like Bitcoin, we see a backing and value that can greatly fluctuate over time. We also have other considerations like fiat currency backing and other forms of stablecoins consistent with a central bank digital currency solution. In either case, it makes me question what the evolving role of the financial institution will be regarding these transactions and that valuation process. In some cases, there is a logical transition from these digital environments into mainstream banking. However, will that always be the case? And if not, what do the control mechanisms look like for these new payment ecosystems? I think this is an area we really need to take a closer look at.
So, when we speak about the role of financial institutions, they are increasingly recognizing the importance of digital assets in the new payment ecosystem. Many financial institutions are exploring blockchain technology and digital currencies as part of their services to meet the evolving needs of their account holders. As digital assets become more mainstream, financial institutions are likely to play a crucial role in facilitating transactions, providing custodial services, and offering advisory services on digital asset management. As the lines between digital and traditional banking blur, financial institutions will need to innovate and collaborate to stay relevant. Now, as far as control mechanisms are concerned, we do have KYC, or Know Your Customer, and the AML, anti-money laundering, that do provide checks to aid in preventing illicit activities and protect investors. And the central banks and regulatory authorities are also exploring the development of central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, as a more controlled and regulated form of digital currency.
Yeah, it's an exciting time in the payments industry with the offerings that we have with digital assets. There are use case scenarios for FIs to implement digital currency, blockchain, and more. And we need to be in the digital asset space or we may be left behind. It will allow us to stay competitive in a world where these services can be sought out by our clients at non-FIs. However, it's also imperative that we do our due diligence on what digital assets our clients are asking for and implementing those offerings that will be utilized. As we implement these innovative assets, we will need to develop oversight to ensure the digital asset offerings are compliant and have proper fraud mitigation in place.
Awesome. I really want to thank everyone for spending some time listening to what our group has been working on and where we are today. And our efforts are really far from over, and I'm excited to announce that we plan to launch at least 2 executive briefings this year, where we'll be diving further into the anatomy of these payment transactions, and we'll explore the potential use cases that are evolving in the industry. Stay tuned to learn more about that. Before we end today, though, I'd like to have each of us talk about what we think the biggest impact of our efforts will be on financial institutions and other parties that may operate in the digital payment space.
Well, for me, I think exploring the intersection of digital assets and traditional finance is a complex yet exciting journey. It's going to require collaboration, innovation, and a forward-thinking mindset to really navigate this evolving landscape successfully. By closely examining the valuation process, regulatory frameworks, control mechanisms, and everything else within this project team that we're going to be exploring, I think businesses and financial institutions are going to be able to better position themselves for success in this digital economy of the future.
Yeah, we must be forward thinking in our industry today. It's vital in our ever-changing environment. Our clients want simple, fast, and real-time or near real-time solutions for their payments. The digital landscape is key to this. However, we want to give the clients a safe environment within that space. This committee is delving into a space that many in our industry are unsure of and are offering critical education and guidance.
To me, the work we are doing is critical in better understanding the nature of a changing payments ecosystem. So whether you are an individual, business, or a financial institution, the intersection of digital and physical environments continues to become a reality. As we further integrate ourselves into immersive digital experiences, it is paramount that we do not do so lightly and not choose to be reactive in our approaches, especially if we think our customers are changing their behavior. So instead, the work of this team aims to help participants operating in the payment space to take a proactive approach in planning for this brave new world we are all entering into. Thank you again for attending today's Buzzcast. Remember to check out nacha.org and visit the Payments Innovation Alliance webpage to learn more about this team and the other great work happening in the Alliance. And we'll see you at the next Buzzcast.
Thank you for watching Buzzcasts, a program of NACHA's Payments Innovation Alliance. Buzzcasts are for informational purposes only, and its contents do not constitute legal or financial advice. Opinions expressed are not necessarily the views or positions held by NACHA. All rights reserved.